Hey there, anime fans! Are you ready for some awesome anime where the hero is a super magician with no magic power? If you do, then you're in the right place. Join me as we count down the top 10 anime where the protagonist is a mighty magician with no magic talent. Don't forget to watch till the end, because you won't believe who's at number 1. Starting off our list at number 10 is Mashel. Mash is a buff boy who lives in a magic world. He has no magic, but he has muscles. He eats cream puffs and works out with his dad. He is happy, but he also has enemies. He is hunted by the magic police who want to kill him. He joins a magic school to become a divine visionary, a big shot. He meets friends and foes, but he also meets challenges. He faces magic tests and battles, but he only uses his fists. Watch him punch and munch in this comedy and fantasy story of a boy with a markless face. At number 9, we have Scarlet Nexus. Yuno is a brave boy who lives in a world where monsters eat brains. He has psychic powers, but he also has a debt. He joins the OSF, a group of heroes who fight the monsters. He meets his new friends, but he also meets a mystery. The woman who saved him as a kid looks like his teammate, but he has bigger problems because there is a plot to destroy the country. Watch him fight and think in this comedy and fantasy story of a boy with a scarlet badge. Coming in at number 8 is Break Blade. Reincarnated is a loser who lives in a world where everyone can use quartz. He can't use quartz, but he can use a giant robot. He joins the war between Krishna and Athens, where he fights with his robot. He meets his old friends, but he also meets his old enemies. He faces the army of Athens, who want to conquer the land. He wants to end the war, but he also wants to survive. Watch him fight and cry in this comedy and fantasy story of a boy with a rusty robot. Number 7 on our list is the magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. Anise is a princess who wants to fly, but she can't use magic. She gives up her crown and makes magic gadgets with her earth knowledge. She leaves the kingdom to her brother Algerd, who hates his arranged marriage. He dumps his fiancée Euphilia, who is a mean girl. Anise saves Euphilia from the mess with her flying broom. She hires Euphilia as her helper, but she also has a secret plan. Watch them fly and fight in this comedy and fantasy story of a girl with a magic broom. Halfway through our list at number 6 is Antimagic Academy. Uka is a badass who kills witches, but she breaks the rules. She joins the Antimagic Academy, a school for inquisitors who stop magic threats. She meets the 35th Test Platoon, a bunch of losers who can't work together. She fights with Takaru, their captain, who is a goofball. She disagrees with the others, who have different views on witches. They have to learn to cooperate, but they also have to face danger. Watch them bicker and grow in this comedy and fantasy story of a girl with a gun. At number 5, we have the reincarnation of the strongest exorcist. Horiyoshi is a powerful exorcist who dies and becomes Saika, a bastard son of a magic family. He can't use magic, but he can use his old tricks. He makes friends with his new allies, but he also makes enemies with his old foes. He faces the dangers of this world, but he also faces the sins of his past. He wants to be smarter, but he also wants to be stronger. Watch him scheme and fight in this comedy and fantasy story of a boy with exorcist soul. Coming in at number 4 is Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Ikki is a loser who can't use his soul as a weapon. He joins Hagun Academy, a school for blazers, who can. He sees Stella, a princess and a top blazer, naked. She gets mad and challenges him to a duel. The loser becomes the slave of the winner. She thinks she will win, but she is wrong. He beats her and makes her his slave. He makes friends and enemies, but he also makes progress. He faces the world, who thinks he is weak. Watch him fight and love in this comedy and fantasy story of a boy with a soulless weapon. At number 3 on our list, we have TheIrregular at Magic High School. Tatsuya and Miyuki are siblings who go to a magic school. Miyuki is a genius and a bloom, while Tatsuya is a dummy and a weed. But Tatsuya has a secret. He is a badass who can do amazing things with magic. He surprises everyone with his skills, but he also attracts trouble. He faces enemies and challenges, but he also faces his sister's love. Watch him kick ass and blush in this comedy and fantasy story of a boy with a magic touch. Our runner-up at number 2 is a certain magical index. Kamiju is a loser who lives in a city of espers, people who can use psychic powers. He can't use psychic powers, but he can cancel other powers. He meets Index, a cute girl who knows all the magic books, but also has a lot of enemies. He protects Index from the bad guys who want to use the magic books. He faces espers and magicians, but he also faces his bad luck. Watch him punch and help in this comedy and fantasy story of a boy with a magic hand. And finally, at the top of our list, we have Black Clover. Asta and Yuno are orphans who want to be the Wizard King, but they are very different. Yuno is a magic prodigy and a lucky guy, while Asta is a magic zero and a loud guy. They get magic books, but Asta's book is black and weird. They fight a bad guy who wants Yuno's book, but Asta saves him with his black power. They leave the church and go to the magic world, where they face more challenges. Watch them compete and bond in this comedy and fantasy story of a boy with a black book. Thanks for exploring the hilarious world of magically challenged Protagonist with us. Which anime stole the spotlight for you? Share your favorites in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit that like